Hello, welcome to another video from the All About Insurance Claims platform. Today we're going to be talking about something that happens all the time, and after 47 years in the insurance business, I saw so many times where people would fall at someone's home or business. And these are situations to a large extent that could have been prevented. You can't always prevent everything from happening, but there are certain things that you can do to cut down on the likelihood of this occurring. Always be sure that the premises, the access and egress where people come into your home or business and how they leave from your home or business are kept in good repair. Whether this is keeping ice and snow off the walkways, being sure that any handrails are properly repaired, being sure that any walking surfaces are properly maintained. Be sure that there's plenty of lighting. Also be sure that there's no low-hanging branches or other things that might cause a person to walk into unbeknownst. Because a lot of people walk, if you've ever noticed, a lot of people walk with their heads down. They're watching where they're walking. They're not looking up, and they may hit something and injure an eye or break their glasses or whatever. So always be sure to check everything about your premises to be sure it's maintained properly. You know, most insurance companies today require that if you have a swimming pool at your home, that there is a fence, a properly maintained fence around the pool to keep unwelcome people from coming and using your pool and possibly being injured or even dying because of being in your pool when they were not supposed to be there. This is especially true with children. You know, children of a tender age cannot be held to be negligent, and so they may see something interesting on your premises and they go over to investigate. This is called the legal terminology is an attractive nuisance. This is something that causes them to be drawn to that particular thing on your property. So be sure that you either remove those things or see that they're fenced properly where children or anyone else for that matter cannot injure themselves by wanting to play or climb or explore around something that is potentially dangerous. Also, when you hire someone to do repairs at your home, maybe to paint your home, to install siding or gutters or whatever, be sure that you know, and it's clearly understood between you and this particular person that you hire, whether or not they are an independent contractor or whether they are an employee. You owe different degrees of protection for an employee than you would for an independent contractor. But still, you need to point out any deficiencies in your property, anything that could possibly cause them injury that they're not aware of. When people come onto your property, they don't know what's on your property. It's entirely new to them in many cases. So you need to be sure that you say, now watch out for this over here. There's such and such situation that could be dangerous. Point this out ahead of time. Be sure that they acknowledge that they heard you, so that they can't say later, well, no, he didn't explain it, or he didn't mention it, or I didn't hear it. Always check references on people who come onto your property to do repairs. Be sure that you know whether or not some people have certain physical disabilities, and doing the work, maybe they have a problem with their back or legs or whatever. You might not want to hire that person to climb on your roof and make repairs. They may not be as well able to do that as someone who doesn't have any type of physical disability. So be sure that you check references, that you know the people that you're hiring, whether it's an employee or whether it's an independent contractor. Be sure that you know them and that you check them out. Get a signed contract and spell out in the contract what type of relationship that you have. Okay, Mr. Jones, it's understood in the contract that you're an independent contractor. I'm not employing you. Set all that out. Be sure that both parties sign it, both parties date it. and it's spelled out exactly what work they will be doing. So in the event you hire them to do something else that's not in the contract, you may need to amend the contract to be sure that that is covered also. Excuse me. Be sure you've got good phone numbers, good addresses. And sometimes you may hire someone that you know very well, but they may have a helper that you've never seen before. Get pertinent information on that person. Know who it is that's coming onto your property and know how to deal with it accordingly. But the primary thing I want to stress is be sure that your premises are safe. Be sure that anyone coming onto your premises is not surprised by something that they don't normally find on someone else's premises that could be a danger. One of the things that I want to stress, and this is something we're seeing more and more of, there are certain people who feel insecure in their homes because of where they live or whatever, and they have bought or raised certain types of animals, especially dogs, that can be dangerous. There's no other way around it. And certain dogs, certain breeds, are noted many times for the fact that they are vicious. Rightly or wrongly, when you mention the word pit bull, certain people have certain connotations about what is a pit bull. Would I want a pit bull on my property? Would I want to be sure that that pit bull is secured when someone comes onto my property? You can't be too safe. You know, we used to have a saying in the insurance industry that the first bite was free. In other words, if you had a dog and he had never bitten anyone, never shown any signs of aggressiveness, and he bites someone because he's suddenly provoked or whatever, we used to say that first bite is free, but the second bite could cost you all you have. But with certain breeds, that may not be the case anymore. You may need to be sure that if you're going to have a certain breed of dog or other animal on your property, that they are always behind a secure fence. There's no way that they can get to a person that comes on your property. In the insurance claims industry, I've seen so many times where there are certain animals that were not kept up, and in all honesty, I was a little bit afraid to get too close to them because they were not behind a fence that I would really call secure. In other words, be proactive about all that you do to keep your premises safe, because you never know when people are going to come onto your property, whether they're invitees, whether they're guests, whether or not they may be trespassers. You owe a certain duty even to a trespasser. Not as much, but be sure there are no surprises on your property. Do all you can. Excuse me. Do all you can, and that way your insurance company, your insurance adjuster, your agent will say, okay, Mr. Jones has this type of premises. He's done this, and this to improve his premises, to be sure his premises are safe. Those are things that we can all do to make it much safer, not only for ourselves, family, friends, relatives, but also people who are just acquaintances. Again, I ask you, if you like this video, please hit the subscribe button, and I'll be bringing you more videos in the future relative to insurance claims. And again, I appreciate your attention.